lights up, pigskin heads, their coffee cups, football cards on the table scattered, chasing legends torn and battered. Weekly updates shouted loud, fantasy lineups make us proud, talking trades, hobby news to yell, pigskin press box live as hell. Weekly updates shouted loud, fantasy lineups make us proud, talking trades, hobby news to yell, pigskin press box live as hell. Foil flares the golden shine, breaking packs the holy shrine, hits and misses, legends rise, gritty dance under neon skies. Weekly updates shouted loud, fantasy lineups make us proud, talking trades, hobby news to yell, pigskin press box live as hell. Flares the golden shine, breaking packs the holy shrine, hits and misses, legends rise, gritty dance under neon skies. Weekly updates shouted loud, fantasy lineups make us proud, talking trades, hobby news to yell, pigskin press box live as hell. Breaking bones, dreams collapse on brittle thrones, trash talk flies, stats collide, football frenzy never dies. Weekly updates shouted loud, fantasy lineups make us proud, talking trades, hobby news to yell, pigskin press box live as hell.
Oh, echo, 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 echo. I mean, nothing special, but first off, welcome to the Pigskin Press Box, where we talk all things football and not football. Not football, because soccer sucks. I'm just gonna say. I mean, I got nothing. I do have something going on this week. I'm ripping that SP off.
How about that? You guys hear me now? Hold on a second, Hammy. You guys hear me now?
I mean, I can hear you.
Yeah, they said I was muted. So, all right, we're good then. Everybody says good. What's going on, Seth? I see you down there. Thanks for doing my sound check for me. The King all red. I see pick 6 in here tonight. We got Lisa in here. It's going down. Lisa. So anyways, you were saying?
Yeah, this week, 21st, is my 26th year anniversary of graduating high school and joining the Marine Corps. So we're ripping 1999 SP Authentic Hobby Box. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping to pull a nice Hall of Famer auto. Charles Woodson, Peyton Manning, players like that. So hoping something cool. Looking forward to it. What about you?
Oh, not much. Just been working a lot, just getting my schedule situated. I'm back off on Sundays and Mondays, so that'll be good for football season. But just pretty much been trying to go through some of my PC stuff and just, clean up some cards, getting ready to put some stuff up for sale, stuff like that, and see if I can't pick up some other cards. I'm still on the chase.
Like a week. We're like a week away from Memorial Day. So.
Yeah. I actually already have that as a day off, so I don't get the 3-day weekend. So, but it's all right.
Yeah, so stay tuned for Emmy and Son's video about Memorial Day. We're gonna do something for Memorial Day. Ripping Rookies and Stars retail box. Hoping for a Pandora that day. Nice. So that'd be cool. But yeah, I'm kind of stoked. This is our second episode, right? So episode number 2, we're still working out the kinks, but We still have a target, right? We got a target for next Sunday to be at what, 100 subscribers, right?
Yeah, if we can get there, in the meantime,
Yeah.
we'll just have a good time and
Yeah.
see what happens,
We got a couple giveaways
Yeah,
for that. So
we do.
stay tuned, guys. Hopefully we'll get there. Share it. You guys got channels, share it to get more people in. So
And hopefully you're all subscribed to the Pigskin Press Box now and hit the like button so that we can get some more people in here. But back to the discussion for today. The NFL schedule was released, which is cool.
Yep.
Nikki, 2 times, what's going on, man? So it looks like week 1. Actually, Nikki 2 times just jumped in. They got the Cowboys. Of course, the Chiefs are with the Chargers in Brazil, which is kind of interesting. I'm not a big fan of those long games like that because they'd have to travel, and it just seems like everybody's kind of like lagged out. So that'll be good.
Pick teams to go to Brazil that aren't green.
Yeah.
So because I know Brazil, they're not a big fan of the color green because of their rival. So
Right.
last year was Green Bay and Philadelphia.
You guys got a tough one. The Packers open against the Lions.
Listen, I think Lions coming to Lambeau. We will win that game. Jordan Love will throw for 282 yards, and he'll throw a touchdown to Tucker Kraft, and Matthew Golden will have his first receiving touchdown that day. I'm calling it now. So I'm writing it down, and we're gonna see if that happens. But we'll beat the Detroit Lions 21-17.
Yeah, it looks like Raiders got the Patriots. So week 1 actually has a couple of good games. We'll get to see some of the possible new quarterbacks. Let me see who else is playing this week. The Texans at the Rams. That'll be a good game to watch. I hope CJ Stroud has a good comeback season.
Texans got the Rams?
Yeah, they're in LA.
Bro, Devontae Adams is going to be in a Rams uniform, so
yeah. It's another good one I'm looking at. The Ravens and the Bills. That's going to be a good one to kick off the season.
Yep. Yep. I'm honestly hoping that it's either your guys' year or the Bills' year this year.
Yeah, Chargers are going to kill it this year. Man, they've been quietly putting together some serious talent on the roster.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think people are really realizing, how much they have put together.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting the new schedule. It looks like, let me see, let's go to week 2. Let's see what we got in week 2. With some good key matchups, I think. Oh, you guys got Washington week 2. Packers and Washington. They're in Green Bay, so
I'm not worried about them.
I don't know, man. Those guys are solid.
Devo, so Devo is back there with Scary Terry. And then obviously they got, I think, a lineman in the draft. So I think Jaden's gonna ball out, but I think we're just too strong of a team this year. That defense is pretty tough. My sleeper this year, who I think should have won Defensive Player of the Year, Edrin Cooper. He's gonna ball out. He's gonna go crazy this year. He's a good kid too.
Let's see. Oh, we got the Raiders week 2, so that'll be interesting. We'll see O'Marion Hampton and Ashton Genty duke it out.
Will throw for 3 picks. So.
Oh, he's gonna throw for 6 that game. We're gonna bury him. Let me see. Denver and the Colts. That's a decent game. I'd like to see what the Colts do this offseason, what they can put together.
It's gonna be interesting because they're not very comfortable with Anthony Richardson being the guy. So I know they drafted, who'd they draft? What quarterback did they draft? Is it Riley Leonard? No. Oh, I'm trying to think here. Somebody in the chat help me out. Who did the Colts draft quarterback wise? Thought it was Riley Leonard.
Right now. Let's see.
I could be completely wrong though.
You've always been ahead of the game.
I was trying to bring up the draft stuff. Let me see.
It could be a sleeper team though. I think Anthony Richardson realizing his time may come if he doesn't step up.
Yeah. I don't think he's he has talent, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It just he needs to put it together. And I think the system wasn't favoring him last year, so let's see. Who did they pick up? They picked up Riley Leonard.
That's what I thought. Riley
Yeah.
Leonard.
They did get they got Tyler Warren too, the tight end.
Oh yeah.
So
Who
they did
is
pick
like
up
the
a
top
tackle.
tight end.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the good ones. He's like one of those Gronk type tight ends, like just a big beast. Let's see who else did.
I am. This seems to be a make it or break it year for a lot of teams.
Yeah, I think there's some coaches definitely on the hot seat, and I think there's a couple players that are on the hot seat. You got some guys that are ending up finishing out their rookie contract. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, I don't know what they were thinking giving him that extension like they did because he hasn't really shown much. But then again, he wasn't in a great system, so maybe they can put it together this year. See what they can do. I've got a ton of Trevor Lawrence stuff, so I wouldn't mind seeing that happen. Texans, Jaguars, week 3.
How Dallas goes with their new coach, and
let's see, week 3. You got the Rams at the Eagles. That's a good game. I wouldn't mind seeing that. The Falcons, Panthers. That's a decent game. I wouldn't mind watching. You guys got the Browns, so you'll be facing one of 4 quarterbacks.
Well, they got Joe Flacco, right? They got Flacco, right?
Yeah, there was talks they were going to trade him away, though. I don't know if they already did.
I know they got Dylan Gabriel, Shadur Sanders, Joe Flacco. I mean, Deshaun Watson may be done.
He's done.
And Kenny Pickett. So.
Yeah, Kenny Pickett's over there. Yeah, week 3, the big matchups I think I want to see is I think the Rams-Eagles is going to be a good game.
Yeah.
Bengals-Vikings, that's a good one. I'd watch that game. And then the Lions and the Ravens on Monday night, week 2. That's going to be a good game.
I know from what I saw, I think Green Bay has like 2 primetime games Sunday night.
I think so.
We got Lions on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I always like the Thanksgiving game. Lions always play, right? Dallas and the Lions. They've always played ever since I was a kid. Let's see what we got going in week 4. Let me see some key matchups on week 4. The Commanders Falcons will be a good game. I think the Falcons have some massive talent on that team. I think when they finally get it together, I think they're going to be solid. I think Penix will be in a good situation over there. I think his opportunity, he's got weapons. I mean,
yeah,
that is a solid team. We got the Giants that in week 4. Not bad. You guys are at the Cowboys, so you get the Packers at the Cowboys, the Ravens and the Chiefs. That'll be a good game on week 4.
Crush the Chiefs. Crush the Chiefs.
You got the Bengals and the Broncos. I'm just curious. I don't know. The Broncos, I'm kind of on the fence. If Bo Nix comes out and has a good season, the Broncos are going to be tough. We'll see if he gets the sophomore slump, Cool Car Collective said he believes the Steelers and Green Bay is on the 22nd. So that'll be a good one. What's going on, Cool Car Collective? How you been, man?
Triple C. You get in the driver's seat.
Thanks for joining the ruckus over here. So you got any recent pickups that you've gotten in the past week?
I did. I picked up 3. I got a Reggie White Profiles card.
Nice.
It's cool. And I got a PSA 9 Brett Favre. That was pretty cool. We're headed over to the house now to Liam got done with practice. Just wait a second. Go ahead and shut that off. Oh. The power button on the radio. Yes. Yep.
Yeah, I picked up. I've been having so much trouble getting optic. I found a couple hanger boxes and stuff. So, I've just been buying singles, and just grabbing some PC stuff, here and there. Grabbed a bunch of Joe Alt stuff from Optic this past week. Just a base, rated rookie, and I did grab a silver from Joe Alt, and I got a pink. That guy threw that in on the deal, so I just got the silver and the pink together. Been picking up some Omarion Hampton, of course, because I think he's going to be the business. So I picked up his Bowman first silver and also the teal. So there it is. Picked up the teal lava of his Bowman first, and just a couple McConkeys.
Better buying PC for optic or ripping optic to find your PC?
Well, I mean, I always want to rip packs. I mean, who doesn't? You know what I mean? There's always that. But, when it comes down to it, if I can't find a lot of it, I'll just, I'll pick up a lot of singles, especially like, Joe Alt. It's like IPC, all my chargers, but you can get them pretty cheap, so you might as well just grab that stuff while you can, get up some of the parallels. I grabbed a purple shock Lad McConkey and another silver Lad McConkey. So just kind of shoring up some chargers PC stuff. I did find some hanger boxes, and I pulled that Jaden Daniels, that silver. That was pretty sweet. But it's just not out there, and everybody's wanting to charge too much for it when I do find it. So if I don't find it in the wild, I don't have time to sit there and wait and click and play games. So that stuff disappears so fast when they drop it on like Walmart or anybody's website. It's ridiculous. And I was just talking with my buddy Sean. He went out to that card show in Vegas, the front row show in Vegas, and he picked up a bunch of stuff. He was shooting some pictures over to me in text, and I was like, dang, man. It was pretty awesome. Yeah, cool card. I have a big Najee PC. I've been a fan of his for a long time, since he was a rookie. That he's so sick. When I heard he was going to come over to the Chargers, I was like, yes. I've got some Prism Silver autos, and I've got a bunch of Najee Harris, so we'll take them. We'll take them, especially when you put him and Omarion Hampton back there. I think it's going to be ridiculous. The run game's just off the hook. So Hammy looks pissed. Hammy, you look pissed, man. Don't be so pissed. No. What's going on, Dino? He's focused on driving. That's what he's doing. He's making sure he doesn't. Oh, we lost him for a second. Where's Hammy at? Where's Hammy? There you are. You're back again. You disappeared for a minute.
Yeah, you did. All right, come on. Got it.
You missed it, Dino. We were just talking about some of the games that you guys had for the Cowboys. He said, okay, bye. Is it gummy time, Dean? I did stop off at Walmart the other day, and I picked up just a mega box of illusions. I like illusions. I'll probably rip that later on. We lost Hammy again. There he is. You keep popping in and out.
All right, let's see here.
Hey, so Nikki, what do you got going next Sunday at 3:00?
All right. Getting my dog out.
Dino. And Nikki still in here, or did he take off?
I'll show you what I picked up. Not in here. It's right here. All right. Let's see. Where you at?
Hey, if any of you guys in the chat feel like joining us maybe next Sunday or something, hit me up. You can hit me up on Instagram, or you can just send us an email. You can send me one directly from at helmetsandhashmarks@gmail, or you can send it to pigskinpressbox@gmail. Maybe if you guys want to join us, we'll bring somebody in and see what you guys got going.
Where did I put them?
Would you already lose what you picked up or what?
Yeah, I'm losing my mind.
It's already gone, man.
Let's see. I know I picked up I actually picked up a lot of stuff, so bear with me.
Yeah, Nikki, maybe you could want to join us next Sunday if you ain't got nothing going. Send you a link. We'll get you on here live with us. You could be like the first special guest. You'll be like special.
If those that haven't seen it yet, but my last video pulled the Bucky Irving stars, go Ducks, Luke Musgrave stars, go Pack Go, Bo Nix, which was pretty cool. Just trying to I want to get all the stars parallels for my team out of this year's product. So I may go on and find it and but yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. I did pick up, or my wife got me a Reggie White Profiles card from 93 Upper Deck. Yeah, something like that. And then she picked up a Brett Favre PSA 9 checklist, which was pretty cool, out of 93 as well, and a Aaron Rodgers coin card, which is cool. I think it's just in the other room. But yeah, that was pretty cool. I'll take pictures and put it on my channel's post, or I'll send them to you. You can put it on the Pigskin press box post. But yeah, those are some fun cards to get. I did also waiting on a PSA order to come back. It's been forever. 5 cards.
Oh yeah. It took me almost 5 months to get my Barry Sanders National Treasure auto back. It was crazy.
Was that you just sent that one card in?
Just the one card, because I wanted it to get it authenticated and everything. It was ridiculous.
Oh man.
So yeah, it was like 4.5, almost 5 months. I didn't get it back until, what was it, like April, and I had sent it off in December. So yeah, it took a long time to get that back. And it just went to Santa Ana, so it's not like it went to the Jersey location or anything like that.
I see. So I'll tell you guys interesting a story, and we were talking about eBay and eBay purchases or buying, selling, that sort of thing. Many of you guys saw the Jaden Daniels, Xavier Worthy out of 25 autos that I pulled. I sold it a couple of weeks back and sent it to the authenticator, because I think items that are over $200, they have to get authenticated. So we submitted it, and I got an email saying the authenticator authenticated it and sent it to the buyer. Well, the buyer reached out to me, sent me a message saying he was upset, and he sent me a screenshot of what it said. He said that the card was tampered with. And I'm like, no, that wasn't tampered with. So it pays to record your openings, right? So we record everything. So I actually sent him a link of that particular card that we opened up on the channel. And he goes, oh, That's not tampered with. You pulled it right out of the package. I'm like, yeah, I did, and put it in the sleeve and top loaded it, or not top loaded, but one touched it. And he's like, well, then I'm not going to trip out about it. And I'm like, well, I'm tripping out about it because I don't think these authenticators know what they're looking at. So, especially, Topps Inception, it's still an unlicensed product. Maybe he's not familiar with it. Sticker auto, I don't know, all sorts of things.
Well, it's like now, especially with all the card cleaning and all the nonsense that goes on. I mean, I'm sure they see it all that runs through there. I mean, everything from the polishes to the soaking and all the stupid stuff, So I don't know, and I've pulled cards out of packs myself that, have a little bit of muck on them or something like that. I always just use a soft cloth or my thumb and just kind of get it off. But, I'm sure it's probably, it's something that comes through there all the time where people are trying to, doctor up cards or fix corners or, it is what it is in the hobby. So unfortunately we got to deal with it, but it sucks that you got that back. Hopefully they didn't leave feedback before they reached out to you. So.
Well, I mean, that's why it's always best to record no matter what, because even if let's say like a year and a half from now, I'm done with, doing videos on card openings, I would probably still record it and be able to have that backup to show proof. Because I ain't going to go through that one again. It was very, very frustrating having to deal with that. But luckily enough, we recorded it, and no hard feelings. But I also gained a subscriber. So
Nice.
that part was cool.
I do that. I'm not gonna lie. Every time I sell a card on eBay or something, I throw one of my cards in there. My little, color blast card that I had made. I throw one in there.
Yeah.
So I've actually gotten some subscribers from that too. So it's pretty cool. King All Red. He said he pulled Caleb Williams, BTJ, and Adonai Mitchell out of the contours out of the Phoenix. Yeah, those are cool. I like Phoenix, man. I do. I like the way the cards look. I like the fact that I can get a hold of it. That's one thing that's cool. But
yeah, I'm just
they
glad they brought it back to retail.
Yeah, that's what's cool. That's like all I'm finding on the shelf at like my local stores, Walmart, Target, whatever. But back to the eBay thing that you're talking about. I just had a recent issue. We were talking about Najee Harris a little while ago, and as soon as he got picked up by the Chargers, I was like, oh, you know what? Let's see what's out there. And I found this guy. He had an auction going for a Najee Harris. It was like a out of 10. They were there gold or something like that. I think it was Prism. It was his rookie, and he had the bid starting at $50, and nobody had bid on it yet. So I reached out to him and said, hey, you want to just sell it outright? And he was like, yeah, I'll take 150. And I was like, never mind. So I went ahead and I just placed the bid for $50. There wasn't any other watchers or anything like that. I felt like that was worth it. And so I won the auction. And then literally the next day he canceled it on me. And I was like, it's ridiculous. Some of those things that people are doing these days on eBay. It's like, if you want to sell a card and you're not willing to take $50, either don't auction it or don't start the auction at $50, If you're going to if you want to sell it for $150, put it up for $150, I mean, but it sucks because you start bidding on cards. And if you find another one or something like that, you're kind of, all right, well, I don't want to start bidding on two because I don't want to pay for two cards. So I was just like, one of the frustrating things with me in buying cards on eBay is like, just, if you're going to sell, just be a good seller, man. It's not like they're not going to get the card and then you're going to end up having bad feedback or having to, do a refund or something like that. Or it's like, it's just too much, I do like eBay. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I buy a lot of cards on eBay.
Off eBay. Have you ever received a card in bad condition from eBay?
You know what I have? I mainly whenever I get mem cards, because I like to collect the patch cards and stuff, especially the game worn stuff. So I do pick up a lot of those. I like to find some of the old, 80s, 90s players, stuff like that, even the vintage. I have like Jerry Rice and Jim Brown sitting up here. But I know I picked up, I think it was either an Antonio Gates or a LaDainian Tomlinson. It was a patch that I picked up. And when I got it, they had put it in an eBay standard envelope, you know, and it goes through that machine at the post office. And when it goes through, it like smashes it through the rollers. And so where the mem is at, it just completely smashes them. You know, I've received about 2 or 3 different mems that have showed up that way. And it's like, just put in a bubble mailer. You know what I mean? Throw the shipping on there as the $3-4 shipping, whatever it is that eBay's charging for bubble mailers nowadays, and just sell it for that, you know? So it's like, you know, just those are the main ones that I've had come damaged. You know, I've had slabs show up before that were a little bit scratched and stuff like that, but I don't know. The game thing is just, it's ridiculous. You know, you end up, your channel, your store will get hosed because you're going to end up with a bunch of bad feedback. People are going to stop buying from you. You know, you're selling a card. It's going to get there, you know, and you're going to see the damage. So just list it the right way. That's kind of all I say, is just list it the right way, be honest, and sell it. I have a Justin Herbert card. It's a rookie that's up there right now. And, you know, it has a scratch on the front. And I put on there, it's got a scratch on the front. You know, if you want me to send you a close-up picture, I will. But I'm not selling it for top dollar either, you know. So, but that's
There's
really
always a risk. There's always a risk when selling cards, because, like I've told you before, I've sold cards and people say they never received it, you know, within a lot of time, and a couple months later they show proof with a package of a card that's completely missing out of it. And I think that happened twice. So always from our destination to the next destination, there's that risk about. So I'm interested to know, like, if other people use a different company besides eBay or whatnot, what they use.
I know there's a place called like Pirate Ship, and you can go on different places where you can, you know, do your own shipping. But I'll be honest, I shipped a slab I had sold. I sold a Justin Herbert. It was a PSA 10, and I sent it out. I forget what it was. It might have been a prism. I think it was one of the prisms that I had. And I sent it out, and it was in great shape when it left. I put it in a bubble mailer in the whole 9 yards, and it got there, and it was cracked at the top where the fly out is. So the guy had hit me back up, and he said, "Hey, this thing got here cracked." And I was like, "Hey, you know, sorry about that. I had nothing to do with it beforehand. It must have been something in shipping." So I went ahead and just refunded them, and I did do the insurance that came with eBay. And you know what? They sent me a check in the mail, and I got it. No kidding. It was like a week and a half. So, you know, I just don't mess around. I just ship through eBay and everything so that everything's kind of in line. And, you know, I don't sell a ton of stuff anyway. So it's not like I've never really had any issues. I think that's the first issue I ever had. You know, I've never had anybody tell me they never received it or anything of that nature. So just one damage shipping was what I had a problem with.
Now you taking cards to your card show that you got coming up, or?
Oh yeah, front row. I'm gonna definitely. Yeah. I take a stack of cards with me every time I go. You know, even like some of my treasured stuff that I have. You know, if I have it in like a PSA 4, a PSA 5, and it's like something vintage, I'll grab it and take it with me just in case I could kind of trade up, or you know, have an opportunity, you know, to trade it.
Are you trading for mainly trying to trade for modern, or some of the vintage you need?
I go for everything, man. Like I just kind of go, I collect everything. I love the vintage stuff. I love the modern stuff, junk wax. I love football, man. So I like the history of the game. So one of my cards on my list right now is I want the what is it, the 1894, the Mayo cut plug. So that's like one of the very first sets that was ever made for football. So I definitely like to pick one of those up. I don't even care if it's ripped in half. I just want one. And then, you know, I still don't have a Justin Herbert auto. So of all the autos I have, I do not have a Justin Herbert autograph. So I'm definitely looking to
on a search for one then.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I have just about everybody else. I mean, I got stuff all the way back to Charlie Joyner, and, you know, I pretty much have autos from every Charger, but I don't have a Herbert. So
do you have any graded Herberts?
Oh, I have a whole bunch of graded Herberts. I did a video on I got that Elytic wall display. I'd pull them out and show you guys, but they're hanging on the wall. But I have pretty much every major that he has, and a majority of them I have like the parallels. So like in the select, I have like the blue die cut.
That's right.
Yeah. So I've
Yeah.
changed it around a little bit. I have a ton. Yeah, let's go to Pasadena. The King All Red. Let's go. I went down there, did a video on the last one, but the next one's coming up in June. Let me see. I think it's June. Let me see. I know it's in June. I just don't know exactly when. I went in March. That was the last time I went. And
That's not it.
looks like June 21st and 22nd. That's when they're going to be down at the Pasadena Convention Center. Dude, that's an awesome show. It's such a fun time over there. Hey, God is great. What's going on, Ken? Hope everything's good over there in Japan.
What time is it there?
If I think he had told me it's like 9 or 10 hours difference over there. So it's like the morning. It's fine. I was actually just talking about you, Ken. I had a friend of mine, and I was telling him that you had sent me some of those Pokemon packs when you had sent me that package. I literally just was talking about you yesterday. That's funny. But yeah, that show is pretty good, man. Every time I go down there, I always find like a lot of good stuff, and I've been down there quite a few times now. So some of the vendors that are kind of the return vendors and stuff, you get to know them a little bit. So it's pretty cool. I always swing some sweet deals, and it's a good time. They don't ever have any like anybody signing or anything over at those shows. But I did notice that another local spot down here, they have some signings going on. I think they had Derwin James over there, and I think Joe Alt's going to be there. So that one's not too far from me. But I know the only I'm committed to going to is the front row show at this point.
Ooh.
Do you guys have any? Do you have any shows up there like in your area? I know, aren't you kind of in a?
I live in the middle of nowhere.
Right. What's like
So,
the closest major city to
most of
you?
them are like 6 hours away.
Oh wow. Well, what are you close to?
so
Because you're in Oregon, right?
Yep. I mean, Medford has some, which is like 2.5 hours away. But I haven't seen any pop up. Most of them are just like in the big city of Portland, or even Eugene. I know. We scored some tickets to the Oregon Duck Montana State game. It's the first game of the season for college football. And Eugene has plenty of stuff out there. So I'm looking forward to that trip and see what comes out of it. But yeah, it's not much here where I live.
I'm sure if you look around enough, I mean, my favorite card shows, honestly, to go to are like those ones that they have at churches or at little community centers or malls and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. I definitely look for, big old yard sales or something like that they could find. But Facebook Marketplace, they have lots of places locally that are selling cards and stuff. But I'm interested to like walk into a card show and just see a bunch of tables and look for exactly what I'm looking for. It's kind of a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, exciting. I'd love to take my son and check it out too. Goals to eventually get to the national. That'd be huge.
Oh yeah. I mean, the only thing is, hey, what's up, King All Red? He said all the rookies were signing yesterday for Panini. Yeah, they did the rookie premiere yesterday, so I did see a lot of the pictures and stuff. So we'll get those cards coming pretty soon. Those are pretty cool when they do the instant Panini instants and stuff. But yeah, I mean, as far as card shows and stuff go, I mean, I'd love to check out the national just to go and see everything, but sometimes they're just a lot. Even when I go to front row, there's a lot of tables there. And you're going to be spending the whole day walking, and there's so much to look at.
Well,
Nikki 2 times said he said he doesn't like the shows around him. He said everybody's trying to sell dollar cards for $10 plus. It happens.
I found the cards that I got in the mail. So Minister of Defense. right? And that's from 95 classics, right? So
Love
always
it.
loved that card.
Same here. Do you look right there? There's a Reggie White rookie right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that one's cool because he's in his he's got a Packer shirt on, but he also has his Reverend coat on with the Bible right in front, which is typical Reggie White.
Dude, Reggie White and Bruce Smith, they were both like out of that year. Those dudes were amazing. Like,
yeah, this one
two of the
here
greats.
is 2011. So I love to collect 2010, 2011 Packers stuff because it was the year both my kids were born. 2010 was my son, 2011 was my daughter. 2010 was also the year Green Bay won the Super Bowl against the Steelers. So this one is actually 2011 Panini Panini America. But anyways, Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, that's nice.
Right.
That's a cool looking card.
And that's actually well, it's backwards, but it's out of $2.99.
Nice.
So it's a little shorter print.
I still got a Favre patch that I need to send you, man.
Yeah.
Some player worn.
The other thing I thought was cool, my wife picked up 1998 Pacific Brett Favre team checklist. This is a PSA 8, but there's that.
Oh,
And
that's
then
cool.
on the back side, you can actually see, the checklist. So, as many of you guys know, I collect a ton of Favre. Loved his game. Loved what he did. Obviously on the field. But I got to get back into. If you guys saw on my channel, we were doing a Favre card a day, and just before I went to treatment. So I gotta kick that back off again. I gotta see if I have more cards than he has consecutive starts. So we'll definitely see where that goes. But yeah, 2010, 2011 is the year I like to collect a lot of the Packers because of both my kids and the Super Bowl win. So yeah,
that's cool.
Who knows? This might be the year I collect more 2025, 26. Green Bay wins the Super Bowl.
Right. Good luck. Stand in line. We got one coming first. We never had one, so. But no, I got Nikki 2 times and Cool Car. We're talking about the National, and they were talking about it being in Chicago. I'd like to make that a trip one day. Just to go check out the National. We have like the West Coast Card Show up here now, it used to be the Burbank Card Show. I don't know if you guys have heard that one. That one's a super good show too. It's really, really a big show. I don't know where they're gonna do the next one. I think the last one they had was it in Ontario or something like that. But they put on a big show. Rob over at Burbank Sports Cards is super cool. I try to make a trip down to his shop, a couple times a year, and down in Burbank. It's a little bit of a trip for me, but man, that shop is like ridiculous. And he puts on that. It used to be called the Burbank Card Show, and now they're doing it as the West Coast Card Show. But his shop is like ridiculously huge. I went over there and did like a tour of his warehouse and stuff, and it's like unbelievable. Like that guy has an awesome shop. So, but those are like the 2 main shows that I hit down here. And if I hear of anything small, there's like a couple little ones that happen in like Brea, California and stuff like that I think they're like church type card shows, or like they have them rented out maybe in the mall or something. And if I get a chance, I go to those, but I usually just hit like the Front Row Card Show or the West Coast Card Show every year. They're definitely fun ones, but I'd love to get out there to the National. We should start saving pennies in a jar and see if we can't get a trip out there. That'd be pretty fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's big, so it'd be cool to see like a lot of the new products. And one of the things I actually like to check out is when like the grading companies are there, or like when the supply companies. A lot of times, some of the big suppliers will be out there, like Ultra Pro, or you'll have like BCW, or you have that, and you get to see some of the new the new sleeves and stuff like that. You know, I collect a lot of old Bowman. I love like the 48 and 50 Bowman. And last time I was over there, BCW had a booth set up, and it was cool. I didn't even know that they actually made inserts for like one touches. So it's almost like it's thicker than a penny sleeve, but it's like a penny sleeve. I don't have one right here. I got them on the wall, but it's like a penny sleeve, but it has like it's like stamped so that you can slide like the 48s and the 50 Bowmans in there. And then you just put the whole thing inside of a one touch, and it keeps it like stable and secure in the middle. So those are really cool. And I stumbled across that at a show. So I thought that was pretty.
Who's that with? Who's that from?
BCW makes it. So
BCW.
Yeah, they're the only people that I've seen, because I was trying to find ways, you know, they're kind of here, give me a second. I'm gonna grab one, I'll show you.
Sure.
You guys got to see all my mess behind me. But yeah, so basically it houses like the 48, 49, and the 50 Bowman inside of the thing, because it's like a sleeve. So open it up. So it's almost like a penny sleeve. See what I mean?
Okay.
But it fits inside the one touch, so it doesn't like hang out, so that when you put them inside there, they're not sliding around or getting damaged. But then when you put them in the sleeve,
you have a lot of the 48, 50 bone.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And so then it comes out like this. So I have like a case up there where I display them, and it's just nice to have them all centered, you know, and it just keeps them from sliding around too, so they don't get any damage on them.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, that's my.
I do a lot of my product shopping through card sales.
Okay.
Or
I've looked at some of their stuff. They have some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. I like the one touches when they come in with their own penny sleeve inside it. You can just penny sleeve your card, put it in there, and just keeps it without it bouncing around all over the place.
Yeah.
They have those there, and I purchased the entire PSA package from card sales, where they give you a lot of the shipping, sleeves, everything. So rubber bands, envelopes, everything that they sell from card sales, which is pretty cool. That they do.
Yeah, usually like when I'm using one touches, I won't put my cards in a sleeve before I one touch them. I don't travel with my cards. I mean, that's what you got to worry about when you're, jerking them around, throwing them in cases and going to shows. Most of the stuff, once I one touch it, it's usually up on a wall or it's inside a frame. I display a lot of stuff. Like, I don't just buy these things to throw in a box. I enjoy it. Sometimes I just walk up in here and I'm just looking at my cards. You know what I mean? But it is cool. Yeah. But those are one of the things I like to do at the shows, though. I love to check out like some of the new innovations or, different kind of displays. I picked up I like the bumpers. All of my cards that I have like in my cases above me, I have like the bumper that goes around the PSA slab. And I just do that because there's been a couple of times we're in California, we got earthquakes and all that good stuff. So I've actually had it to where the card will actually fall forward and be sitting on the glass on the front of the case. So when I'm opening it, I'm like trying to catch the card, before it falls. And I've actually had them, fall to the ground. So I do like the bumper, and I like the way it kind of cleans them up. If you don't have everything in the same type of slab, if you put the same color bumper around it, it kind of makes them display a little nicer.
Those bumpers, you got those bumpers from where?
Actually, the ones I order, they're from Casematics. I just get them off of Amazon, but Casematics makes them, and you can get like a 40 pack of them. You know what I mean? And it's like cheap, like $20 or something, compared to like all those crazy ones that are coming out now that they're like $12 and $15 a piece. I don't have that kind of money, so I just get the little rubber bumpers. It's kind of like hey, good night. Thanks for coming by, Nikki. Appreciate you stopping in. What time are you going on live tonight? I think you usually go on about what, 5 or 6 or something.
Thank you.
After we get done here, I'll definitely jump on and go check out Nikki 2 times. I like to get on his lives, but yeah. So those bumpers are pretty cool. They're just a rubber bumper. They're nice. They do hold it, but they're pretty cool. They're definitely cool. I don't like all the crazy colors and all that stuff. I just kind of went with those guys. They were cheap and they look super good. So they match the frames and stuff real nice. So
speaking of those frames that you have behind there, I got some frames to hold my PSA graded cards, but I have this one I'll show you.
all right, on 6 p.m. So Nikki 2 times will be online. He'll be going live tonight at 6 p.m. if you guys want to join him over there. He puts on a cool show, man. Nikki's a funny guy, so I gotta drag him by the ear and get him over here onto our show.
Yeah, I got these.
Those are cool, man.
Yeah, but what I like about it is obviously, like, I put them together. I don't know to tell a story, right? So like this one tells a story. Obviously, I got Aaron Rodgers rookie card, Jordy Nelson's rookie card here, and then I got Donald Driver and another Aaron Rodgers. But the Aaron Rodgers here, Super Bowl 45. This was kind of like the offense in Super Bowl 45, right?
Right.
Offense during the beginning. So, yeah, I mean, main weapons were Jordy Nelson, Donald Driver, and having the rookies. So I like to make a story with all these frames of why I put them in certain orders. Like I have a whole other one full of 2023 to 24 teams, right? 23, 24, 25. So like this year when I get like I'll have a frame vault defense, right? So I'll find cards that are PSA graded or I grade my own so I can put them in those frames. That way they can just tells the story as I put them around. So I don't know if you do the same thing or you just put them in there.
Yeah, no, I have everything kind of like organized. I have like my 3 main cases that you see behind me. I keep 3 of those on the wall, and it just kind of runs from like it starts out with my quarterbacks, and then it gets into receivers, and it kind of gets into my tight ends and running backs, and then I get into the defense that's over here on this side. So I kind of like have a theme with it, and everybody up in those cases is all Hall of Famers. And what I try to do is I'm trying to get a rookie card and an autograph from every Hall of Famer. That's my goal, which I know a lot of it probably won't be possible unless I find a cut auto somewhere or something like that from some of the old timers. But, I have like just a bunch of different like rookies. And then like I have a Jerry Rice rookie, and then I have like a mosaic card that was signed by Jerry Rice. And then I'll have, I even have some good old ones and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. That's how I do that. It's like my Hall of Fame wall. And then I also have a bunch of different, like throughout the room. I'll have to do a video one day and show it, but I have some smaller cases that only holds 1 touches, and they'll hold 9 1 touches in there. So I have one that's over on this side of me, and it has just a bunch of game worn patches that I've collected that I like my favorite game worn patches. So I keep those. And then on my other side, I have nothing but 48 and 50 Bowmans in there. And then I have some frames like you have there. I found most of my stuff on Amazon for display. So the big cases, I always make sure that I order the exact same one so they all match. And then I have the smaller cases that's made by the same company, but they just hold the 1 touches. And so I do like all my 48 and my 50 Bowmans are all in that same case. And then above it, I have like my 1910 Murad Cigarette Company football cards. And that's why I'm looking for that Mayo cut plug, the 1894. So I could, kind of tell the history of football cards just on one wall. It's kind of what I do. And then, hey, so
daughter.
Yeah. So how's it going? Did you, are you tired of your dad covering the whole house with football cards or what?
I had to put her shirt down.
But yeah, I do that. Then I found like a frame that's really similar to those cases, and I put a bunch of 8x10s because I have a lot of those too. I have a bunch of old Chargers, Dan Fouts.
I'm looking for I have a few cards that are in 1 touches. Like for example, like the rookie sweaters, right?
Okay.
That I have a collection for that I don't plan on grading.
Right.
but I want to put them. I want to put them in a case, right? And like all the rookie sweaters, I want to display them during Christmas time, right? So,
Okay.
so I'm trying to find something to put one touches in one of those frames and with a display type thing. I could
Right,
probably
right.
make one myself, but I want to see if they. I don't know if you suggest anything or whatnot, but I definitely.
The only thing I've done, and I buy these slabs off of Amazon as well. They look just like a PSA slab, like literally ideal. I mean, so they match up everything perfectly, and then I use those bumpers on them, and I just create my own label, and I do that for all of my pack pulled autos, like anything that's certified stuff, like guaranteed by Tops, guaranteed by Panini, whatever. I don't send those cards out for grading generally. I usually will just put those in my own slab so that it has like a little flyout on there. So when I display it, people can see what the card is and everything. But I figure it's already authenticated. So why authenticate it again? It's kind of redundant. So I usually do those, but I think those are only available in 35 point. I don't think you can get them that'll fit MEMS and stuff like that. So I'm going to keep looking, but I haven't found any yet. But I like it till they match because I use mostly CGC and then at PSA. I have a couple cards that are in SGC, but I try to keep it to like the CGC or the PSA so they kind of have the same size and it just looks more aesthetic for me. But I do still have some stuff that's in like the SGC and of course we got all of that. Beckett.
Yeah.
So
Yep. So what's your win loss record for Chargers?
They're gonna go perfect this year. We're going double digits, man. I'm gonna say it now. We're gonna win the division. Chargers will win the division this year. I think the Chiefs are kind of towards the end.
Falling apart.
No, I don't want to say they're falling apart because they're still solid, but I definitely think that the slump is kind of appearing.
Falling apart.
It's appearing. It's starting to appear, and
lost, 2 offensive linemen to trades, and it's crazy. But
I'm telling you right now, the Chargers, I've just been watching off season and it's so impressive, what, Harbaugh's doing over there, him and Greg Roman running the offense. And, I feel like they've made some moves that they've just, if you look at them, they're quiet, but they're solid moves that they've just really shored up the offensive line. We put a couple pieces together in there. Jesse Minter on the defense. I mean, that guy's ridiculous. And as long as Derwin James is back there, look out. So I think they've made some seriously good moves. Khalil Mack's going to be back this year. Picked up some good drafts. McConkey, King All Red says he got McConkey for me. That dude's just ridiculous, man. And then, I mean, just look at the draft and what they're doing. And Thule, over there, I think he's going to be a solid edge rusher for us, linebacker. Just they're putting it together, man. I'm really excited about the Chargers this year. I've been a Charger fan forever. You know what I mean? And it feels good again. It feels like it did back when we had Rivers and LaDainian Tomlinson and all of those guys. I'm starting to see, with Antonio Gates, they went out and they signed Conklin. They signed there's a lot of good things happening over there. So I'm stoked. We'll definitely have double-digit wins. That's for sure.
Double digits.
Absolutely. I mean, we're not going to have less wins than last season. That's for sure. I'd say that I could see us probably putting up 14 wins, 13, 14 wins, and winning the division this year. I'm calling it right now. Watch out.
Win the division.
They're going to win the division this year.
NFC North's going to be the toughest division again. But I'm Super Bowl down, baby. Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was trying to see what I had laying around. And we didn't even get to see a lot of Junior Colston. I just picked up some Junior Colston stuff. Last year he was injured and we didn't really see a lot of him. So I got some big expectations for that guy too. They drafted him last year and he really didn't get a lot of playing time. So hopefully he can come out and break out of his shell too. So
I agree.
So, but anyways, man, anything else? What you guys got going on, chat? What you guys got going? I'm gonna put that bet in, man. I'm telling you. I live about 3 hours away from Vegas, so I might even just go up there and just put a bet down, so it'll give me a reason to go back to Vegas. You know what I mean?
You do that, and the next day Herbert goes out for the year.
Don't ever say that again. Just don't wish that kind of stuff on me. No,
I know. I mean, he's a duck, man. I like Herbert.
dude, Herbert is a beast, man. I feel like I'm actually chasing Jackson Dart stuff this year. I think I'm going to try to grab a bunch of Jackson Dart stuff while everybody's out there chasing, Cam Ward and all that stuff. I think I'm going to grab some Jackson Dart. That guy he's going to be a pretty awesome quarterback.
Just don't be grabbing Tyler Shaw.
No. I think Jackson Dart is probably going to be that guy. Everybody wants to see the flash, and I get that, but very few people can be like, like Lamar Jackson or, look at history. Those guys that are getting out there and putting their head out there like that and just running around, their careers end too fast, man. Their longevity it's not there. So when you look at like Joe Burrow and you look like, at Justin Herbert, you look at some of those guys and they remind you more of like the Peyton Mannings, and they remind even Bo Nix, yeah, they'll get out there and run a little bit, but they're not going to just take every opportunity to go out there and, stuff the run somewhere. They want to get out there and they pass and they use their head a little bit and protect their bodies. And that's how people like Brady play for as long as he did. He wasn't out there just running the ball like crazy. So I think Jackson Dart's going to be probably a good solid rookie. So, and he's going to be in a good situation with neighbors over there in New York. And, I think he's going to be the one I'll chase this year. So we'll see.
Got good solid quarterbacks to learn from with Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston.
Yeah, I mean, those guys are definitely decent. He could pick up some stuff, but I think we'll see him earlier on in the season than you think. I think by midway through the season, we see Jackson Dart out there.
Especially if the Giants are losing. Just throw him in there and freaking Yeah.
I mean, unless something miraculous happens, and they're, only got a couple losses halfway through, I think they'll stick with that. But I think we're going to see him definitely get a lot of reps, throughout the season, because I don't think they're going to keep any of those guys around next year. So they're definitely going to get him ready this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, my boy Herbert, Cool Car Collective said Herbert's underrated. Absolutely. I mean, that guy's fierce. Look at what he did 2020, 2021, 2022. Those numbers he put up, and he put up with like a skeleton offense. He did have Keenan Allen in them, but they didn't have an O-line, and then until they got Harbaugh over there, it was Pop Warner action over there when it came to the O-line and it came to the offensive scheme. Like, that dude was carrying the entire team and putting up those numbers. Yeah. So I think now that they got the run game going, we got some tight end work over there now. We got a couple of good running backs that are just they're going to be able to let, McConkey and those guys put in some work, and I think it's going to be good, man. Mike Williams is back, so you're going to have somebody who can stretch the field, they're going to be dangerous. They will be.
Yep.
They're going to score points, man.
I like the Chargers for the AFC, so I'll definitely support you on that one. But that's where I cross the line right there.
Yeah. Hey, I like watching the Packers, man. I do like watching the Packers.
It's a great team. I mean, they always been like a lot of more and more players like Josh Jacobs. He went on to say is like, I want to retire there. That's the place to go to play. There's no like distractions. Mm-hmm. It's all football, and even the receiver we picked up, Matthew Golden, said the same thing. He goes, I don't want distractions. I want to focus on football, and this is the place I wanted to go.
Dude, Matthew Golden, that guy's a beast. You guys scored with him, man. Watch, he's going to be one of those draft diamonds for sure.
Well, yeah, I think, and personally, the guy I'm really looking forward to is Barron Sorrell, defensive end. Definitely looking to see if he can either push Lucas Van Ness to be a better player, or just Green Bay may get rid of Lucas Van Ness next year and Barron Sorrell just take over. No. And I'd love to see Sorrell and Rashawn Gary on the D line like that. But we've always been a team that rotate our D linemen so they can keep them fresh. So we rotate a lot.
Right.
So I think it's going to look good. The receiving group is going to be interesting. Romeo Dobbs, Christian Watson's ahead of schedule, Jaden Reed, now Matthew Golden, Dontavian Wicks, Tucker Kraft, Luke Musgrave. I mean, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I hope Romeo Dobbs can stay healthy, man. We don't need no more of those concussions. So hopefully he can stay healthy. I like Romeo Dobbs. I have a big PC of him. I have a lot of Romeo Dobbs stuff.
I got one of those frames of all I'm collecting from because when I got back into collecting was in 2021. So 2021 to now I'm collecting all the first round pick autographs and putting them in the frames. So, it can be like a memory for my son and I. Hey, we I got a Rashawn Gary, I got Savage, I got Dobbs, I got Watson, a ton of autographs that I have in frames that I graded. So
yeah, it's funny. Cool Car Collective's over here in the chat right now, and he was like, dude, as you were speaking it, he was typing it. He put in there Jaden Reed, Matthew Golden, Romeo Dobbs, Christian Watson, and two great tight ends too. He said Packers pass catchers are unreal. So hopefully,
my favorite thing about the tight end class, Tucker Kraft said last year or 2 years ago, and there was a video. A defender was talking trash to him. He goes, "Dude, I'm gonna burn your childhood home." Freaking the dude, he cracked me up. Tucker Kraft's such a great player. Definitely a fan of his. That's the one guy I don't have an autograph for yet. So I'm trying to search for the right autograph for Tucker. I'm kind of bummed that he wasn't in much of the Panini product this year. He wasn't in Optic. He wasn't in Don Russ. So I'm kind of bummed about all that. So
who was I watching? I was watching somebody when I was driving home from work yesterday. I usually throw YouTube on, and that's when I check out everybody's stuff. I'm watching your videos when they come out. I'm watching, Cool Car Collective. I'm watching whoever's putting out videos, Dino, all that. I kind of throw it on when I'm sitting in traffic, and I just usually listen or whatever. And somebody was ripping some of that new Top signature or whatever it was. That actually looked really nice. I mean, I'm not even nowhere near that stuff, and I'm not into the unlicensed, so I don't really see myself buying it. But that signature had a lot of good autographs that were coming out of there.
Yeah, the hobby has 5 autographs. I know I got a mega and a blaster box coming, but Top signature reminds me Top's version of Contenders. Because on the card itself, it actually shows when they were drafted.
Right.
And you know how most of Contenders have that as well. So it's I think it's Top's version of Contenders. The cards aren't as thick, but the hobby boxes come with 5 autos. You're not guaranteed an auto out of Mega or Blaster.
Right.
But it's something new to rip. So looking forward to those coming in.
I just, the pajama cards kill me, dude. I do have some. I didn't buy a lot of anything really Tops. I think I bought one of the composite boxes when they came out just to see, because I wanted to see what the different Top stuff was going to look like. And I'll be honest, the Chrome, I didn't like it at all. Topps Chrome was horrible. It looked like with that little neon line around it or whatever. And
yeah, you do get a sense without having the logo on the helmet that the cards just don't seem great.
Yeah. It's definitely of the Temu variety. You know what I mean? It's not.
I guess the good part about it is jump on it now, pulling Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, Drake May rookie cards out of that product. And then next year when it becomes licensed, they're not going to have the rookie logo. So at least you'll have it, have some of those.
Yeah. I mean, some of the old stuff, the old vintage, they didn't have licenses for throughout some of the years, so there are some of those pajama cards from back in the day too, but it's just, I don't know. I like to have the logos on it and stuff, just, it looks better. I feel like when they got their head turned and you see the side of the helmet and it's just blank, it's I don't know. I don't know about that. If it's a good picture and it's done right, okay, cool. It doesn't look too bad, but
I want to remind the chat, we're trying to hit 100 subs by next Sunday, for a possible giveaway that you and I will have. So I know it's after 4, but as we wrap things up, I definitely want to, push that, push sharing this channel out there, get our name out there, and hopefully hit 100 by Sunday. That'd be great.
Nice. Yeah, that would be really cool. If you guys are still in here and you haven't hit like, go ahead and hit like for us. And, I appreciate you guys all stopping by. We're going to be definitely continue to do this. So we'll be back on live next Sunday. We definitely want to start having some guests come on with us and stuff. So if you guys are interested in coming on live with us, shoot me or hand me an email. You could always check either one of us out. He has hammeandson@gmail.com. I have Hamilton @gmail.com, or you could send it to pigskinpressbox@gmail.com. If you're interested in coming on live, we'll send you a link, and you can jump on live with us and chop it up, man. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the show, and hope we can make some more improvements. If you got any suggestions, hit us up. If you want to talk about something, let us know.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Appreciate it, guys.
All right. Well, thanks for stopping by, everybody, and we'll see you guys next Sunday. Let us know what you guys are picking up. See you later, Hammy.
Later.